Hello, Gemini. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Star Spinner Tarot by Trungles. There's a website in the back, chroniclebooks.com, if you want to search that out. Supportive Oracle cards, magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish, illustrated by Jesse Reisch. Reisch is R-E-I-S-C-H. It's a deck from 2002. There was no website that I saw, but that information is there if you want it. Is there a web? No, I don't think. I don't know. Somebody sent me an email. It's like in the back of my head somewhere. I'm like, I did see an email about it. I know I did. But if you want to search it out, feel free. I think we're going to go to I think this is going to end well. I can't get around the beginning of this. You're not happy with. I'm questioning how much you're not happy with it, though, because when I was shuffling, the Ten of Swords started to push out, and I was like, "Ooh, is that going to come out in this reading?" It didn't, but the Three of Swords did, which is telling me no matter what way you slice it, when this is starting off, you're not happy. You seem to be doing what you have to do. You're holding the line. You're getting things done. You're handling a situation the best you can, and you're holding the line the best you can. I don't feel anybody really pushing you over or like getting the better of you. I don't feel that because I get divine guidance and same home protection with it. But it's like what I have to do to hold the line. It's what I have to do to make this work out, and it doesn't feel right to me. It seems like I don't like to have to do this. There's energy, destiny, justice, all coming up from the environment. I don't think this is talking about a person. I feel like this just kind of like it's time for the situation to be handled. It's time for it to be addressed. Energy, divine, or destiny, and the justice is kind of like this needs to be fixed. I'm also getting the Five of Wands, controversy, conflict, and problems. Like, you don't like this. You don't think you should have to do what you're doing is what I'm kind of getting. Like, this shouldn't be working out this way, but you have to stand your ground and you're doing what you have to do. Not liking it, but doing it. You know how life goes. If you don't, it's not about liking it. It's just like some things you just got to do because you just got to do. Now, that seems to linger on for a long time, in my opinion. It might be have been going on for a while, to where you just have to handle things the best you can. I just feel like this conflict energy just kind of keeps going. It keeps going. At some point, someone else is going to step in. Now, if it's a mediator or some other type of energy, this is something that shouldn't be a surprise. It might even be something that you kind of add in, or that you decide has to be here. Is the Queen of Swords, which it's another air card, which is typically an ally to Gemini. Gemini's air, another air card coming in, is typically, not always, but typically a ally. Am I missing anything here? Because I noticed I just kind of dropped it. I don't know if you see it that way. Maybe it's because I keep like, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I believe it totally that they're an ally. So if this is like more of a mediator energy, I don't feel like they can't give you a heads up. They can't acknowledge if they agree with the way you see things. I feel like they can't acknowledge it. I think that's it too. They can't acknowledge it. They're looking at the situation. They do like what you're saying. They do like the way you're communicating. They feel like you're saying exactly what's going on and it makes sense to them. But they have to at least seem impartial. They can't let you think that they're partial to you. They do like the way you communicate, though. They feel like you're making sense, and you've went through the situation and you said, this is what that is what that is, this is why I do this, that's why I did that, and this is what I see going on there, this is what I see going on over here. So you're telling them what they need to hear. And that might be even more. Not so much like they're, partial or, aligned with you all that much, as much as, like, there's certain information they need and you know that, and you're giving that. You're just putting out there what they need to have, and you know what they need, and that's what they like. You're like, I'm going to need that information. You're like, yeah, I do. So you put it right out there. You know they're going to need it. I think this energy is very easy for you to work with. Work with is probably better. Because I got grace and courage. Like, they've got to be careful because you just, You know what you need to present, and you're doing that. You know what you have to give to the situation, you're doing, but it could come out as biased on their side, and they have to be careful about how this looks. Because whoever else they're dealing with, it's just not that smooth. It's just not that smooth at all. And if it was, that would change things, but it doesn't feel like it's that smooth at all. So they have to be careful. They want to make sure they stay impartial, which is another reason I feel like you might be looking at this like, I don't know if they really like me all that much, because they seem to be a little bit difficult at times, but they have to balance it with the other, whoever else they're dealing with. They can't look like they have favorites, even though you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. It's the creativity card, but I'm getting like, you know exactly how to deal with this. You know what to do. I know it's creativity, but it's kind of like, it feels more like you know what this situation needs. And I feel like you're even moving ahead, like 3 or 4 spaces, and you're like, well, you know what? Before they need that, let me just give it to them. Because I feel like that works more to my benefit. Like if instead of holding this to the side and waiting like I might need it, I'm going to be a little bit more forthcoming and put that out there ahead of time, because I'm very confident they will need it. And I also think that should look more to my favor, like I'm trying to get the information out there that I think you're going to need. I'm not going to make you ask for it. I'm just going to present it so you can just grab it as you need it. Like you're trying to make it convenient. And I feel like you're seeing the benefit of this. If I make it convenient, that should go to my credit, right? If I'm not making you ask or hunt for the information, I'm just leaving it right out there so you can grab it. That should go to my credit, shouldn't it? So you're doing what you need to do, and I feel like you're very forthcoming. Like, you know what? I've seen how this works before. And if it's already out there, it just makes it look better for me. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to do that. 6 of Cups. 6? Yep. And the Joy card. Again, Queen of Swords is a compatible energy to you. And I also feel like this is why you're putting that information out there ahead of time. You don't technically have to, but you're like, I know that energy. I've dealt with people like this before. If you haven't dealt with this person before, you've dealt with people like this before. And you're like, yeah, if I make them ask, they're going to get pissed. They're going to get ticked right off. They're going to act like I did something wrong. They're going to spin it at me kind of like, well, why didn't you just say that in the beginning? Why did you make me ask for it? What are you hiding? What else are you hiding? They're going to turn it like that. Not even going to be an issue. I'm putting it out there. I'm putting it right in front of the situation. And it's working. You knew what to do with it. That's why. You're familiar with this. You're like, I'm not going to have those problems. Here. You don't even have to ask. Just here. There you go. Knock your socks off. Knock your socks right off. See, again, you're winning favor. The grace and the courage. Like, I think you keep winning favor, but it's because you know how to handle this energy. You know what I mean? How else to say this? It's kind of like showing up for the math class and already like you've already done all the homework. You've read ahead like you were asked to. You know that you have to have the basics down or you can't make this work. You've done everything. You know, you showed up prepared with, you know, the right pencils, the right paper, the right tools. They were like, even though they may not have asked you to bring them, you're like, yeah, but I know I'm going to need them, so I'm going to have everything ready. You showed up a little early because you know that's what they're going to like, so that way when the bell rings, you're ready to go. Everything's on the table. You got books open. You got everything ready to go. So you just made this really easy for the other person. Like, you made it really easy for them. Like, you did. Like, they like how you did it. They're like, yeah, well, that's how everybody should do it. I feel like that's the energy here, too. That's kind of the energy that this person might have. Like, well, that's how people should do it. That's their attitude. Like, that's how it should be done anyway. You matched up perfectly with that. You saw it coming. You weren't going to wait for that to come around and smack you in the back of the head. You're like, oh, no, that's okay. I don't need that. Now, look, I'm not going to wait for that 2x4 to whip around and smack me and douche. I don't want it. I don't want it. I'll just be in the forefront with this one. Handled it really well. When this is all said and done, anything that's negotiable, I feel like will go in your favor. And this might be like the reason this is coming to you. If you're just randomly coming across this read, this might be like kind of your heads up to, like, you know, be forthcoming, be ahead of the game, give out information before you have to. Because I know Gemini likes to be careful and, like, you like to have a little couple extra things to the side, like I'll only use it if I have to. You know, I don't want to push something out there if it doesn't need to be out there. But might be why this reading is coming. Like if you do that ahead of time and you prepare ahead of time and you just give out that information freely, I know that might be. It seems kind of foreign for Gemini because it feels like you guys, you play it safe sometimes and you just have some extra things over to the side just in case. But in this one, they're like, put it right out there. Put it right out there because it will go to your benefit. That way, wisdom comes in like, you made the right choice, but I'm getting a wheel of fate going in your favor, getting more things over the way you need to. Like anything that can be tipped in your favor will be tipped in your favor. Like if it's a negotiable, who should get it? Gemini. You know what I mean? If it's negotiable. If it's hard and fast, the rules say no, then the rules say no. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, taking a bus ride somewhere. If it doesn't matter where you sit, if you could decide if you want the front, the back, the middle, wherever you want. You want a window seat, you don't. You get to decide. Like random things like that. But I feel like if you're taking a bus ride somewhere, depending on how long the bus ride is, that might be of great value to you. Sometimes it's the little things that make a trip that much easier, Up to you. But they're saying this is really going to work out to your favor. But I'm getting like with the Wheel of Fate, it is a major arcana, and so isn't the Emperor. But I'm getting it's like things that were already negotiable to begin with will go in your favor. So it's like, if we're going to use the bus analogy, where the bus is going, probably not going to be negotiable. Where you're sitting on the bus, yes. Maybe if the bus was going to make 2 stops on the way there, you might be able to like have some input and like, well, I would like to stop at this place to grab a bite to eat, and then I grab a souvenir over there. That'd be cool in my opinion. And it's like, well, we were already going to stop 2 places anyway, and we have to stop for bathroom breaks, so we might as well stop at that place to get that. I mean, there's a bathroom there anyway, that works. We could already stop there too, that works. It's like things that were already going to happen, it's just the details of it, those will go in your favor. Which I think for Gemini especially, you can tell me if I'm wrong, sometimes it's those details that mean the world. Maybe that's the best part of it for you. Sometimes, depending on what you're dealing with. I know. Anything else? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.